In the freezing darkness of December 1965, something ripped through the nighttime sky over the United States. It wasn't a plane. It wasn't a meteor. It was an orange glow, a light that danced over cities and fell with smoke and a bang into a dense Pennsylvania forest. What followed was a frantic race, not of curious onlookers, but of military personnel and men in black suits, who sealed off the area, silenced witnesses, and took away an object that seemed to have come from another world. The government claimed nothing had been found, but witnesses told a completely different story. This is the Kecksburg case, the Roswell of Pennsylvania, a story of a cover-up, of fear, and of a secret that, to this day, echoes among the fallen trees of a forest. What really happened that night? And why did the government go so far to erase the truth? Stay with us as we dive into some details of this intriguing mystery. The afternoon of December 9th, 1965 was almost over. It was 4:44 p.m. when an orange flash crossed the sky, starting in Ontario, Canada, and heading toward the United States. Hundreds of people in Detroit, Michigan, and Ohio saw it. In Greensburg, Pennsylvania, radio reporter John Murphy received a phone call from a witness who described a trail of light falling from the sky. People who heard the news came out of their homes and saw the object make a sharp turn before crashing near the small, dense rural village of Kecksburg in Westmoreland County. Debris was found in Michigan and Ohio, causing small fires that were quickly contained. The impact of the object was so violent that the boom was felt more than 20 miles away in Pittsburgh. But the most intriguing thing is that, according to witnesses, the object did not fall in an uncontrolled manner. It appeared to have attempted to make a controlled landing before hitting a ravine in the forest, leaving a trail of downed trees. The first person to arrive at the scene was Bill Bulabach. He was fixing his car when he saw the object fall. He got into his vehicle, followed the trail of destruction, and, with a flashlight, found a large orange-colored object covered in strange symbols. Bill saw the lights of other witnesses, including a group of volunteer firefighters led by Jim Romansecki. They arrived at the scene, expecting to find the wreckage of a plane and possible survivors. Instead, they found something unbelievable. An acorn-shaped craft resembling an inverted nut, about 11.5 feet long and 10 feet in diameter. The most frightening thing was the symbols carved into the bottom, unlike any human writing, looking like something out of Egyptian hieroglyphs. The object had no welds, doors, or windows. Within minutes, the scene changed. Men in black suits and hats, accompanied by armed military personnel, emerged from the forest. They ordered the firefighters to leave, declaring the area quarantined. The area was quickly sealed off by the military. The reporter John Murphy, who had reported the crash, also went to the scene. He took photos of the object and the military activity, but was quickly approached and expelled by a soldier. Another witness, 19-year-old Bill Weaver, was driving along the highway when he saw the commotion and the impact crater. He noticed the presence of many military and police. Suddenly, a truck stopped, and 4 men wearing white jumpsuits and oxygen masks like astronauts got out. They carried a large box into the forest. It was then that Bill and other witnesses were approached by 6 men in black who wore only dark suits, shirts, and hats with no identification. It was they who seemed to be coordinating the military. Later, Bill's father, who worked in road maintenance, witnessed something even more intriguing. He saw a truck leaving the forest with an object partially covered by a tarp tied to the back. At least 8 other witnesses saw the same truck carrying the object away from the scene. The government claimed the light was from a meteor and that nothing had been found. For reporter John Murphy, the story of a cover-up was clear. He began to investigate the case, but men in black broke into his house and intimidated him, taking all of his documents. Frightened, John released a new documentary lying about his findings. Months later, he was hit by a car and killed. The story lay dormant until 1990, when the show Unsolved Mysteries recreated the case and displayed a replica of the object, which became known as the space acorn. The case gained traction again, and many witnesses came forward. In 2002, investigative journalist Leslie Kean, in partnership with the Sci-Fi Channel, now Sci-Fi, launched an initiative under the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. NASA had promised to speed up the search for files, but ended up evading, which led Kean to sue them in 2003. Leslie Kean's lawsuit against NASA was a crucial step as it revealed the existence of a secret government program called Project Moondust, which aimed to examine non-American or unknown origin space objects. After 4 years of fighting, Kean won the case, and NASA was forced to provide hundreds of documents. However, Kean reports that no conclusive documents were released. Many files were missing or had been accidentally destroyed. Despite the lack of irrefutable proof, Leslie Kean and investigator Stan Gordon, who was at the scene of the incident, are convinced that something of unknown origin crashed in Kecksburg. Kean argues that, based on data from the U.S. Space Command and the Russian Space Agency, the object was not a Russian satellite. The most likely explanations, according to her, would be a top-secret U.S. project or an alien craft, although she believes the first option is more probable. The Kecksburg case remains one of the greatest UFO mysteries. Stan Gordon, who has been investigating the incident for years, states that witnesses describe the object as making a controlled landing and not an uncontrolled fall. He keeps an open mind to all theories about the object's origin, whether it is extraterrestrial or an advanced human device. The most important thing, however, is the legacy of Kecksburg. The story highlights the problems with government transparency and public access to information, becoming a symbol of the struggle for truth. In the face of a case so full of twists and attempted cover-ups, the big question is, what or who were they trying to protect? NASA, by losing or destroying documents, not only hid evidence but also increased suspicion. What do you think? Was the truth behind the Kecksburg incident a military secret or a sign that we are not alone in the universe? Tell us your opinion in the comments, and if you already knew about this case or have any details to add, your comment enriches our investigation. And if you want to continue unraveling these mysteries with us, subscribe to the channel. Every new subscription is one more step toward the truth, and every like is a vote of confidence that shows us it's worth continuing to seek answers. Let's go on this journey together.